Our breaking news at this hour is coming from Pakistan. Pakistan is in crisis. The military says it has managed to rescue most of the hostages. More than 400 people were held hostage during a train hijack in Balochistan province. And according to the latest information, Pakistan militants say they have killed 50 hostages. Pakistani authorities say that the operation is in its final stages. The Baloch Liberation Army, which hijacked the train full of passengers, has released this video. As you can see, the militants can be seen blowing up the railway tracks moments before the Jafar Express train was hijacked. Pakistan security forces say that a large number of hostage passengers, including women and children who are being used as human shields, have been rescued. The BLA fighters are demanding the immediate and unconditional release of Baloch political prisoners. The train, carrying about 500 passengers, was en route from Quetta to Peshawar, where it was ambushed at the entrance of a tunnel in the remote Bolan district. Pakistan security forces managed to separate one portion of the train and brought it to Quetta, but another portion of the train is still in control of the heavily armed insurgents. The insurgents, heavily armed and strategically positioned inside the tunnel, were holding hostages, among them women, children and security personnel. The BLA had earlier issued a stringent 48-hour ultimatum to the Pakistani government, demanding the immediate and unconditional release of Baloch political prisoners. They have declared their stance as final and irrevocable, warning that any military action will result in the death of all the hostages. Now, a portion of the Jafar Express train has now moved from the tunnel to the Quetta station. Eyewitnesses reported intense gunfire as the assailants targeted the train. The Pakistani security forces are engaged in a tense standoff with rescue operations underway. However, the presence of suicide bombers among the militants, who are reportedly using women and children as human shields, is complicating efforts. The rugged terrain and the train's location within the tunnel is further complicating the challenges being faced by the rescuers. This incident not only exposes significant security lapses, but also underscores the deep-seated grievances fueling the insurgency in Balochistan. The region is rich in natural resources. The province remains one of Pakistan's most underdeveloped regions. The local population's long-standing resentment over economic marginalization and political disenfranchisement has been a fertile ground for separatist movements like the BLA. Let's talk to our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, who's now joining us on the line from Islamabad. Hi, Anas. What is the latest situation at this hour? What more do we know?
Well, what we know so far is that out of the 426 passengers on board this train, about 330 have been rescued by the Pakistani security forces. What we also know is that about 52 terrorists belonging to the Baloch Liberation Army, or the BLA, the banned terror group, they have been killed as well as a reason or as a result of the ongoing operation, which is currently in its final stages. That's what we know so far. While the BLA is claiming and making tall claims in its statement, we've seen that in the past they've made such claims as well, but they are not synonymous with the reality on ground. Therefore, the claims by the BLA will be taken with a pinch of salt. The Pakistani military sources say that their operation continues and it's in final stages. We understand that there has been a bloodbath that has ensued there on the train itself, and the casualties are expected to be somewhere between 30 and 90 on the with regards to the Pakistani civilians and the military combined. Now, when we're saying the civilians and military combined, that particularly refers to those on board that ill-fated Jafar Express that was hijacked just yesterday by the banned terror outfit Baloch Liberation Army. Now, what we also know is that while the rescue operation is currently underway and it's in its final stages, what we understand is that the rescue train, a second rescue train, has been sent from Quetta to Dhadar, where the operation is currently ongoing, and there is an accumulative count that is being done on the part of the security forces to assess the casualties that have been inflicted upon the train passengers during the course of the past 30 hours or so since this siege began.
Anas Malik, before I let you go, just very quickly, just to confirm to our viewers, you did say that there's a huge number of people who have been rescued. Could you repeat the number?
Well, what we can confirm is that the rescued number stands between 320 to 330. It is still being, the numbers are still being prepared, but on board this particular train were 440 people, 14 were Pakistan Railway staff, 426 were passengers, and the latest figure that we have, the authentic figure that we have rather, is that 320 to 330 people on board this ill-fated train have been rescued, and about 52 terrorists have been killed.
All right, that is Anas Malik, our correspondent from Pakistan. Anas Malik, will have to leave it there. Thank you. Dr. Wael Awad is a senior international journalist, is now joining us live on the broadcast. Awad, thank you very much for making time for us. How big of a setback is this for the Pakistani army?
Thank you for having me. I think it's a big setback for the Pakistan army, especially we all know that this is a very turbulent area. And as your correspondent was saying, because of the security in that area is one of the prime important for Pakistan, especially after joining hand with the Chinese to make the economic corridor through this into Gwadar and building the rail track and the airports and the port. All of these activities cannot take place if there is a huge attack. So therefore, Pakistan was trying over the years to prove to the Chinese authority that they are able to protect the region. But such kind of a huge attack, one of its kind in the history of the Baloch struggle in Pakistan, is a clear indication of security failure. And I think there will be lots of head in the Pakistan intelligence department. They will be ruling out of the department because this is a huge setback for Pakistan.
Mr. Awad, thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.